Hey, Brew Tubers. It's Lammer22, and I am answering sjporr's question about what got me into homebrewing. So it's actually I got a couple things that got me into homebrewing, and I guess first one was my dad was a homebrewer, and I tasted some of his stuff, and it really it really wasn't that good. I think he brewed out a can, and I believe he was a he li- he liked to make it a little bit more powerful, so he probably added a little bit more sugar to it. So it was a pretty kick ass. It's probably out of the can. It was probably about 6 or 7%. So, but I never brewed with my dad, so I didn't really get it from him. I knew that he did it, and I always wanted to do it, but I never did it. So I'm drinking a Yingling right now, so Uh, nothing against that. I love my homebrew, but I'm on travel right now and I don't have any with me. So, what got me into homebrewing? I had been talking about brewing for probably since 1994, something like that. And I didn't start brewing until 2008. So, uh, I bought the book, The Joys of Homebrewing by Charlie Papazon, and I read a little bit of the book, and I was like, "Holy fuck! There is no way in hell I am going to be able to make beer." So I think the book kind of intimidated me. So that's one of the reasons why I never brewed, or I never started brewing. And I always told my wife that I wanted to brew beer. So she was on an airplane and she bought a. This was right when we first got married about 11 years ago, and she bought me a beer in a bag kit. And she bought the refill kit, and my mother-in-law bought me a refill kit, and I never did it. I just, I don't think I was ready at the time. I wasn't ready, so uh, I didn't brew. I ended up throwing that stuff away. So it was kind of a waste of money, but I just didn't. I guess I wasn't ready. It's kind of like quitting smoking. When you're not ready, you're not ready. So the next thing was my wife and I bought a kegerator because a guy in the neighborhood had a kegerator. Had some other friends that had a kegerator. I was like, hey, it's a good idea to have a kegerator. I mean, have a kegerator. Have a beer around all the time. So we bought the kegerator probably about 7.5 years ago, and so everything's nice, going fine. I was buying Bud Light, Miller Lite, Yingling, Killian's really good. That's a really good draft beer. And then I would get Sam Adams once in a while. Uh, what was the other ones? I mean, the predominant one was Killian's and Yingling. So we had a party at the house. It was a going away party for a girl at work. So at this party, had a full keg of Killian's, and there's probably maybe 15 people. Oh, things got a little out of hand, and I was, I was drinking beer. That's all I drink. Normally, that's all I drink, and I got out of control, or I didn't get out of control. Everyone else got out of control, and I can go way into it, but I might get some people in trouble. So my wife told me that there's no more work parties going to be happening at the house. So I had to agree with her that there's going to be no more work parties. And I know you're saying, okay, come on, get on with the story. So I decided, I was like, okay, I gotta get rid of this freaking kegerator. There's no freaking way that I am going to be able to have the kegerator and still be married or anything. So I was like, okay, well, I could take the tap off. I could just make it a refrigerator, put bottled beer in there, and everything be like it used to be. But then I was thinking, I was like, well, Christ, I've been talking about doing this home brewing for a long time. I went up to my local homebrew store, Homebrew USA, right there in Norfolk. I stopped there before, and they were always closed. It seemed like every time I went up there, it was either like late night because they close at 6, late night, so they're closed, or it was a Monday when they're closed. So every time I stopped in there, they were never open. So I stopped in that day, and the guy set me up. The guy name was Sean, and he's a local home brewer and everything. And he was really nice. Set me up with the kegging system. Cost me without the brew pot, it cost me about $200 to get me started. So I ended up. Let me drink here. Buying the kit. I did a Fat Tire clone. It's called Fat Boy, and because well, anyways. So I bought the Fat Tire clone, and we ended up. Well, I was still intimidated, and I was like, man, I am going to screw this thing up. So I asked my buddy Kyle, because I knew that he homebrewed and he had a pot, because I didn't have a pot yet either, because I looked for a pot. He brought his pot over, and we brewed the first batch. So so Kyle and my dad and CJ, mainly Kyle. Kyle got me going. He had the brew pot. Him and his wife, well, the girlfriend at the time, Jen, they got the brew pot over. We brewed it 1 week in the primary, 2 weeks in the secondary, and we kegged it. And I was like, man, this tastes pretty good. But it wasn't carbonated. So I tried to do the shake method and everything. And Jesus Christ, that freaking almost broke my freaking back. So I was like, okay, we'll just let it sit for a week. Well, by the end of that weekend, the shit was gone. And I was like, what? What? I got to wait another freaking 4 weeks until I freaking get some more beer? I was like, this is freaking bullshit. So I went to the homebrew store. I bought the same kit again. I bought the Fat Boy because it was really good. And I was like, okay, from now on, this is the way I'm going to do it. Every 2 weeks, I am going to brew beer. And because I don't want to ever be out of beer. Ever be out of beer. I want to have beer all the time. So I did a Fat Boy. I let that age a little bit longer than I did before. No shake. Well, actually, I probably did shake it a little bit. But I tell you what, the shake method. The thing about it is, if you want beer that freaking much, you might as well just brew a bunch of beer. Brew a double batch or something. Because the shake method is going to kill you. Or you could force carbonate a little higher temp. But you know what? This is what I do. Right now, I have 5 kegs. I have 2 on tap. I have 2 on tap at all times. And then I have the other ones just being charged. So whenever one of those kicks, I'm ready. I have another keg right to go. Ready to go. So that was 2008. So since 2008, I've ran low a little bit. I have a chili cook-off every year. And the chili cook-off, I sometimes need a little extra beer, so I end up buying a commercial keg. So in the last 4.5 years since I've been brewing, I have bought 3 commercial kegs. One was a Sierra Nevada, which cost a freaking fortune, but that is a freaking wonderful beer. I bought a Miller Lite. And I think and then I bought a Long Hammer IPA, which is okay for an IPA. But so in the last 4.5 years, 3 commercial kegs. But I have had, well, counting all my brews, I keep a log of them, and counting my lemonade my lemonade limeade mixes. I also made some cider, some barley wine. But out of all my brews, I have done a total of 120 batches. 120 batches. That's not too bad, is it? I don't think so. It's like I'm not the only one that drinks it. I mean, I have my neighbors. My neighbors drink it like crazy. So, and I like them too because sometimes I get tired of the Heffy, or I had the Heffy from forever. So, but the beers go quick at my place, and I always want to have backups. So, sjporr, that's why I brew, and I'm glad that you and I are brewers together, and that's my answer. And the rest of you brew tubers, if you know anyone that is interested in brewing, just have them come down and help you brew. I tell my neighbors, I say, hey, do you want to make a keg for your party? Come on down and help me brew, and we'll do it. You buy the ingredients, I'll brew it for you. I don't care. I want you to be there when we brew it. I'll do everything. I love brewing. So that's it. So to you guys, and I'll see you guys later in the week. Love you guys. Bye.